Hello. Happy Wednesday, even though I keep thinking it's Thursday. Wishful thinking, perhaps. So I put a ton of stuff in the staff notebook today. So I figured I would give you a little visual, verbal discussion. 2 COVID policy updates or guideline protocols that have gone into effect that I just want you to be aware of. Women's health and babies. They put out an official guideline about moms who are COVID positive but asymptomatic. They are allowed to be housed in the women's health units, and you have been seeing that. If they are a symptomatic COVID patient, positive mom, they have to go to the SICU. But I wanted you guys to have that information. It also goes into if they're allowed to have a support person with them, what the baby can and cannot do as far as rooming in and things like that. So you have the link. I put the excerpt specifically about where they get placed in a staff notebook, but go ahead and read through that policy if you want some more detail. The other thing that has changed that I haven't gotten actual documentation on is a process protocol they rolled out yesterday. Anyone who is receiving aerosolized type treatments now has to be on contact precautions during those treatments. So for instance, if you're getting a nebulizer treatment, that patient will be on a special type of isolation, which basically means no one's allowed to enter that room except for the people who are giving them active care. And they'll be on contact precautions. You'll see it's I think it's NFHC, like nasal cannula high flow. You'll see those in the isolation order. Ideally, we're probably not going to end up putting those in shared rooms, but we don't have many left. It's just the MIMQ overflow that's still shared. So just to keep that in your brain, that's what that is. They said they were going to upload documentation on the COVID site today. I haven't seen it. So feel free to go searching for it if you would like to read a little bit more about that. Next thing, Holy Spirit intensivist access. Turns out on their directory, they said there's nobody on call for this. That's not true. The intensivists at Holy Spirit share a phone, and so it's one phone number. They're also listed in the Tiger Connect as GHS Critical Care AP. So you can call them or you can Tiger text them and get to them that way, and that's always the case. So I put that in the staff notebook, it's in decision tree, and it's in one of the documents that's in the decision tree about the service. It's the service grid, and that shows you who gets called how. Also, what I learned is that if you are in the Geisinger Tiger Connect, you can get in touch with all of the Hershey Tiger Connect people. You don't have to switch in and out. I haven't personally tried that, but if you'd like to play around with that to validate it, go ahead. Feel free to send me a Tiger text. I'm in it all the time, so I can just shoot you back and say, yep, got it, or we can communicate. But give it a shot. That should help us moving forward. I think we might be getting some telestroke information through the Tiger Connect, but I don't know that for sure. That is still TBD, by the way. Next thing, mandatory training. You're going to get all those pushed Compass education trainings that you have to do, your compliance, cybersecurity, and privacy. There's a microaggression, unconscious bias, and patient bias prevention one that you're required to do, and your annual safety training. Of course, those are all out there. You'll get them the 26th of January. They will be due by Monday, May 31st. So you have a few months. Please don't procrastinate, because then I'm going to have to hunt you down, and you know how much I love to hunt you down. Seriously. Another thing that is in here, PERT activation. It's a PE activation. It's a team that they've asked for, and they asked for this over a year ago. And they want to be able to call a specific group of people to the phone if a patient is having a pulmonary embolism that they're trying to figure out what to do with, and they're unsure with that patient. We don't have an official go live date yet, so technically it's not actually in play, but I don't trust anybody. So if somebody calls the department, there's 2 ways this could happen. You can either be on a transfer call and somebody on this phone says, I'd like to call the PERT team. It is built in Decision Tree under Patient Logistics Resources, and it tells you exactly the different groups that you're paging. It's 4 different groups. It's the CT surgery doc, CVIR, HVI intensivist, and the pulmonary, the MICU team. So they might say, hey, can you activate a PERT call? So you'll get those additional people on the phone. Likely you'll already have probably the pulmonary intensivist or potentially the CVIR person or somebody like that. However, they also can activate these calls for any inpatient currently. And anyone in the department, transfer center nurse, bed management associate, can answer that phone call and activate a PERT. All you're going to do is page these people and connect them. Once they are connected for in-house patients, you can remove yourself from the call. You do not stay on that phone call. Don't waste your time. Get off the call. Connect, gone. Obviously, if it's a transfer call, you're going to stay on that call. Again, there is no active go live date, but I don't trust people. So I wanted you to have the information. There is an actual physical document attached in the staff notebook. Like I said, it is in the decision tree, and I put some of the basic information in the staff notebook too for easy access. Just as a quick reminder, when you are filling out the transfer center documentation for the 3 different organizations that we take transfers for, and it has to do with hem-onc patients, for HMC, the only thing we choose in the transfer center and Cerner is hematology. Not hem-onc, not hematology oncology, not oncology, only hematology. That is how they are billed through our organization. For St. Joe's, you only pick oncology. Hey, Holy Spirit's making it easy on us. They are only hem-onc or hematology as well. So Holy Spirit, Med Center, hematology. St. Joe's, oncology. Check, check. One other thing about transfer center entry, when you're asking for a physician to be added or you cannot find the physician in the system, please get clarification and spelling for our physicians. We've had a handful of situations where the requested spelling of a physician is the wrong person. Same similar type name spelled completely incorrectly. So please make sure you're validating with the people on the phone. Ask them to spell the first and last name if you feel that you can't find that physician or that it needs to be added. Big deal, because we do bill based off of some of those things. It's really important we get that data accurate. I guess that's really it. It felt like a lot more than that, but there was one more thing. Many of you will probably have already gotten your first vaccine dose. If you haven't, it's coming up. When you go for your vaccine dose, they will ask you to schedule your second appointment. Please make sure you have your schedule with you. And really, at all costs, avoid scheduling it for the Thursday or Friday before your weekend. A lot of people are having reactions to that secondary shot, and I would really appreciate it not be right before the weekend, because we can't really afford anybody calling off on our weekends. So try to keep that in mind. I know it's not always possible, but it's really important that we keep that in mind when we go to get those second shots. Mine's on a Monday. Yay. I can't wait. That's okay. I'll have plenty of time to recover Monday night to come back to work on Tuesday. It'll be so much fun. I'm hoping I don't have a reaction the second time, because I did the first time. Anyway, those are the pieces of information I wanted to make sure you have. Back to those isolation orders really quick. I just want you to know the background of why they're doing that on these units with this respiratory type things. As you know, there was an outbreak on 6 acute care with COVID. The main reason was because the patient that was positive, that they didn't realize was positive, was getting nebulizer treatments, and then spread it to 15 staff members, and 6 patients ended up being positive. So they're really trying to minimize that risk. So it's a really reasonable thing that they're doing. It's just gonna, you'll see more different isolations, and it might impact how we place, but hopefully not. Okay, I think that's it. Happy Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed your mini show, and I'm sending this to Bob for the first time. Poor guy, he's not even in the department really, and he's getting one. So, all right, have a good one. Bye.